I'm Aaron Gallo.
I'm Marty Hogan.
And I'm Eric Berry.
And we're from the Starfleet Escape podcast. And you're listening to another great Four-Eyed Radio product. For more shows, check out foureyedradio.com.
Hey there, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios, and this Four-Eyed Radio presentation is being proudly brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Welcome to Pitch Please. I am your host, Terese Cilluffo. You guys are joining us at the beginning of a brand new month. Our winner last month was Phil Dulles, and this month we'll have 3 new comedians pitching ideas to you every single week. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time on this episode, Pitch Please is a show where comedians present ridiculous but clever business ideas to our panel of judges, and each week a winner is chosen, and that winner gets to present at the end of the month for their chance at getting a Kickstarter made for them to reach their funding goal for their idea. Our judges are also comedians. Let's meet them now. First, we have Kevin Elliot.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Yeah.
Kevin, last month, not one of your picks won.
I was an offer.
So how do you think you're going to fare this month? Your first pick for this week is Brian Valona.
Right. My first pick this month, Brian Valona. I don't know his idea. I don't want to know it. I have that much trust in my contestant.
I hope he knows his idea.
Here's the thing. I knew what my other contestants were bringing to the table last month, and they failed me miserably. So this week and month, I'm going I have no idea. I'm just trusting the person.
Bold strategy.
Thank you, sir.
I like that the angle that you took is last month I knew information. So this month I'm just going to try and not know any information.
Whatever, man. I'm going to shit on your guy. It doesn't matter.
So you have full confidence.
Yeah. Typically I love every idea, but since Richie's talking before he's even introduced, I'm shitting on all his contestants.
Good.
So you have full confidence in Brian Valona.
Yeah, I do, but I still might pick Richie's if it's a good idea.
Okay, because Brian told me before the show that he made up this idea today and has prepared for one day. So.
Yeah, but look, I've seen the guy do comedy, and he thinks on the spot. I trust this guy.
Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. And commenting during Kevin's introduction over there is Mr. Richie Martin.
Yeah, I don't like rules, so I'm just gonna...
You say fuck the rules.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of, talk when it feels right, and hopefully it feels right for you guys, too. That's how I live my life.
Richie, last month, your deferred pick from Chris Centenni, of course, from the first episode, came so close to winning.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He was in,
he was
in second place in my eyes.
You look at the stats, you look at it on the paper, and you might think that. But if you give it the eye test... the eye test is what really tells the difference, and the eye test says that Aaron disappointed me as a friend and as a professional. So I hope he listens, because I haven't told him that face to face.
So you're pretty confident in your pick for this week, though?
Yes, I am.
Okay, it's Michael Scarston.
It's a pleasure to have him.
Good friend of yours?
Yeah, he's pretty famous here on the improv scene. Is that right? It's not improv? Yeah. Well, besides the famous part, yeah. And I'm just really excited to have him here to hopefully not sully my good name.
Okay, well, hopefully that doesn't happen. Oh, Joe Gangemi.
Hi.
Our third judge. How are you doing today?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm good. So your pick from last month, you had 2 of your picks in the finals.
Yeah, it's 4 weeks and 3 weeks in a row, something like that.
2.
No, because Phil
Well,
Dulles,
3,
yeah,
because Phil
Dulles,
won the finals.
Jennifer,
But
Phil Dulles.
yeah. Okay, 3 in a row. We'll
Who's
give
counting
that
now?
to you, but just to let you know, your pick for this week, Josh Bingenheimer, just whispered over here that he's just now doing research on his idea. So you might not fare as well this month.
He's the only person here in glasses. I think he'll do fine.
He wasn't wearing these when he drove up, he says. He put them on to look smarter for you. Okay, each of our pitches are going to have 3 minutes to give us their business idea. And then after that, Mike Moses Kennedy, our pitch closer, will come in, and he will kind of add his own ideas and try to close the idea for the judges.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm a little concerned. It doesn't sound like there's been a lot of preparation on any of our contestants.
No,
I'm a little worried
not at all. I'm
because
hearing whispers over here, but I'm announcing them for everybody.
I
just
am
so
pretty
everyone
loaded
knows.
down with pizza right now, so I hope that I don't have to exert myself quite a bit, or it might be a mess.
Did you enjoy
What a
that
pro.
pizza?
For $5, I will eat anything.
Yeah,
Big
you
shout
guys.
out to Little Caesars for catering the event.
Yeah, we definitely had Little Caesars, and it was amazing. Okay, you guys, are you ready to hear these pitches?
Yes.
Okay. Our first pitcher, Mr. Brian Vallona. This man is a firework, but he'll tell you that he isn't, because fireworks hurt people. He's also against people very harshly going double baby, which means if you're pregnant and you're also holding a baby, he's very against it.
It's rude, man.
He says never go double baby. He told me this. He also told me that bongs don't belong where the internet goes. So whatever that means, you can... Allegedly, he knows something about bongs. Okay, Brian, why don't you take it away? Give us your idea.
Thank you for having me. I will stand during this time.
I'm going to hold
Thank
on to
you.
your Red's Apple Ale, though.
I'm going to not drop the Red's Apple. I'm going to just totally crawl through this. This is going to be great. So my idea is I'd like to welcome to the new world where adult homeless friend finder exists, because that is where we're going to start right now. Adult Homeless Friend Finder is an application you download, approved by iTunes already through the App Store, that serves you advertisements that fit the screen on your iPhone. Now, what it also does is it geos all the homeless people in your area, and you can set your radius up to 25 miles. Because let's be honest, you're not going to go that far for a homeless person. So 25 miles, and how you find the homeless person is they're tagged. They're tagged by the ear like a sheep, as they should be. So now that they're tagged, you can find them, and that technology exists. It's very easy to acquire. You just put it on the person that doesn't have a home in their ear, and then you let them go live, and then you get on your phone and you see where they are. And then this is where the interesting part of the app exists. So what you do is it's a game, and you're awarded points for integrating your life with a homeless person, and you both are paired to do a task. Like, you could get in your car, you have to pick up, like, this homeless guy on Thomas and Shea, and you pick him up, and he's like, okay, you get 50 points if you chug all this beer, and Brian, you got to drive him all the way to fucking Indian school, and don't get pulled over, and you both get 50 points. Now, you can redeem the points for excellent prizes, like all the way up to hanging out with Jay-Z. That's in there. That's what you win. And the homeless person, if you win, you hang out with Beyonce. And that's if you try really hard, you become famous, kind of. So now there's a rewards program. Now this isn't where it ends though, because there's a rewards program. You can refer a friend. You can get when you refer a friend to the app, so it's organic growth is there. You also get points which you can redeem for excellent prizes. You could get hubcaps if you're a homeless person, or dental work. It just depends on where your needs are. And so for me, I would probably more be privy to, you could use it for good things. Like, I'm going to, just pick up a homeless person some food and drop it off. That's worth so many points. Cans, so many points. Advertisements, so much money happening at the same time. And all you have to do is get on your phone, which you have in your pocket. Bam. And honestly, let's be honest, there's no shortage of homeless people. Your supply is not questioned here. It's just if you can find them and tag them correctly and have the technology work out. But I think overall, I'm undoubtedly confident that we could change the face of the homeless community by motivating them to be not homeless people anymore. And eventually what they become is they're a user. And they become a super user if you evolve from homeless status because you use the app so much and you redeem so many points. We'll actually give you a steady job at the end. We'll actually do that. So we're not only ending homelessness, but we're creating humor and revenue. It's like a crazy twisting nether of happiness. So that's all I have. That's all I need to say.
Wow.
Incredible.
Oh, Brian, thank you so much for such a Brian Vallona pitch. I have so many questions. I wrote down, I think, kind of the three most important because I couldn't keep track of all of them because there was so many questions that I had. First of all, one of the things you said that a reward could be hubcaps or dental work. And you said depending on where your needs are.
If you get the correct amount of points, you could earn enough to get a crown or two, you know?
Okay, yes, I get that, but why would they want hubcaps is my question.
Have you seen a homeless person without hubcaps? I see them all the time. It's like a collectible for them. Oh, what do? I'm on the road. Boom, there's fucking hubcaps everywhere. I might as well start collecting these.
Okay, but isn't the point at the end, which kind of brought it all together for me, I was like, this is ridiculous. The point at the end is to make them not homeless anymore, so how will hubcaps benefit them?
So that's a great question. I'm happy you asked, so I appreciate that. So what you can do is you can earn rewards to spend, and you have lifetime points. So you have lifetime points acquired, and once you pass the threshold, you end homelessness. So it's a very clear, like, hubcaps, dental work, homelessness, and then Jay-Z. Like, that's your...
Okay, so that brings me to my second question. You are trying to bring people out of homelessness by having them win points by encouraging drunk driving. That could be part of the reason that they're homeless in the first place. And also you're talking about having a tracking device where you're doing it over an app. So that means that the cops might know about this. They might know about this challenge to get points. And the cops might actually be able to track you and know that you're driving drunk because you're playing the homeless game or whatever it's called.
You know, that's a great point. It does assume everyone drives drunk, which is just not true. So it was an excellent point that you made. I just think that most importantly, that was a example. And another example would be the point I gave where you talk about doing nice things for someone that's selfless and you just go drop off a bag of bagels because people are hungry and you're in fucking points.
That's really nice. But I think you told me a story about how you tried to give someone a bag of bagels and they didn't want it. And they were homeless, so.
And not everyone likes carbohydrates, even starving people.
Okay, I'm going to send it over to Mike Moses Kennedy, our pitch closer, to see what he has to say to add to this idea. Mike?
Well, you know, the homeless are near and dear to my heart. I played a homeless person on television, so I don't first of all, this idea of tagging the homeless. It's redundant. It's already been done. If you know anything about MK Ultra mind control, we need to monitor people when they get out of the matrix.
I was thought about putting chips in their neck, but I don't
They've
think
already
you can
have
get
them.
them all together except for like food, you know. Like
They're in a prototype program for later this year after Jade Helm. I liked the organic growth.
You like that?
I felt that that's reminiscent of something that a young Richie Martin would say. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you've done your research. I'm impressed by that. I also see possibilities for some vertical integration as well on this.
We're thinking about adding
a second story, if you will, to
something else to it.
This homeless
like
community.
You get a multiplier if it's like a woman homeless person?
Yes, I see almost much like Sisyphus, who tried to push that rock up the hill. Like a thing like that for... I believe it was Sisyphus. Was that it? Did I pronounce that correctly? I believe it was Sisyphus. Sisyphus. So I like that notion of it, to battle to get out of homeless. But you have to another maybe marginal flaw is you assume that people want homes. That's another thing. That's a flaw by design. That's a big assumption.
It is.
But I liked it. I would say maybe homeless buddy too.
Okay.
Like they're almost get rid of cable. The money you spend on cable every month, give it to the homeless guy to get the news on the street. That's where the real action's at.
Plug into the mainframe.
He could be your homeless Anderson Cooper.
Thank you for that, Mike Moses Kennedy. So I think what you got out of that was maybe call it a homeless buddy. Okay.
We can do a rebrand. It's still early.
I think my favorite part of your pitch was the tagging the homeless people, because I went to take my trash out the other day and there was a homeless man inside the garbage can, and I think it'd be really nice if I could tag him and just know that he's in there. Yeah, I'd like to know when he's in there, because he was very mean to me when I didn't throw my trash on him. He yelled at me.
Wouldn't it be nice if they had a profile, and you could rate them?
Yeah, I agree. I love this.
That was part of my plan, but I just, I forgot.
He gets a 0. He gets a 0 because...
You could rate them. A homeless person might act nicer if you can rate them.
Exactly. I don't know how they'd check their ratings. I guess some of them might have cell phones.
Assuming they're not all nice, but I'm sure many of them are, and they deserve 5 stars.
I agree. Just not the man that goes in my dumpster because he yelled at me because I didn't throw my trash on him. Which is very weird. He called me a bitch. Okay, let's go to our judges and find out what they have to say. Kevin Elliot, let's go to you first. This is your pick.
This is the most confident I've ever felt in one of my contestants. Now, I don't know what the next 2 contestants have to say, but step your game up, because I am excited about this app. I tried downloading it while Brian was pitching it. I'm super excited. I can't wait to get my homeless person and get points and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to go crazy with them. I'm drive everywhere with them, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to get so many points, dude. Look, I'm not kidding. Who are my other contestants? Bill. I'm trying to remember. God.
Nobody of consequence.
That's true. You guys, I thought you had great ideas, but goddamn, Brian the Bone of Alona is just coming correct this week. God, that's sick. I'm excited to hear what Richie and Joe have to say, because if there's anything negative, they're the worst business people I ever met in my entire life.
That's perfect.
You've never met any business people, Kevin.
There's none in this room right now. So. There's none of them.
Well, Brian, I think that Kevin thinks that you're quite a firework with this idea this week.
Baby, you are a firework.
Okay, because that was so positive, I'm going to go to Richie Martin next to find out if this idea is scalable.
Yeah. Look, so this is my 3rd week being a fake businessman. And you kind of keep saying that if people earn points, they'll be not homeless anymore.
If they acquire enough points, there's a redeemable program.
And you do keep skipping over the part where, how points help them not have a house. But I'm not worried about it. The logistics, we can move out of the way later. What I'm interested in, I'm a little confused. Because it sounds like... Yeah, I know.
Whole life.
It sounds like... Thank you. It sounds like you want to help homeless people.
I want to help people engage with the application and buy the product of that, help people that don't have homes.
Okay, and then in the middle, you talk about tagging homeless people
like animals.
Like the sheep they are.
No, they're not sheep, because sheep, you don't kill sheep, you shear them, and then you keep them alive. No, I'm just kidding.
So I think everyone listening can understand my confusion in this duality.
Confusion every day of your life. I think that most importantly...
Let the record reflect Brian's inability to answer the question and his hostility towards the interviewer.
All right. So I think I do want to help homeless people.
Why are you mad?
I'm not.
Why are you mad
I feel
at them,
like it
Brian?
engages people that would. He's great. I'm really upset.
Hey, let's talk though.
Okay.
What happened? What happened with the homeless guy? Did something happen?
I took him out to dinner. I didn't have any money. It's a joke I do. Stupid.
You're really gonna run that bit right now?
I should.
I was trying to get.
I'm gonna cut him off because the punchline's not worth the juice.
I like the idea. I just worry about creating this corporation that turns homeless people into cattle, which is really what it sounds like you're doing.
If we can get them to agree to a wristband,
you'll meet in the middle at wristband.
I just don't want to see a good homeless person go to waste.
And I can't wait to rate one. God bless you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Richie. It sounds like maybe if we're not tagging the homeless people, you're on board a little bit.
I mean, even if we are tagging them, I'm probably in. So.
Okay, cool. Good times. Okay, Joe Gangemi.
I was so into this idea, especially when Kennedy branded it Homeless Buddy. I think that's super fun. I want one. I love the idea that it could potentially end the homeless. I live in Gilbert. There's one homeless guy. He is always across the street from Postino's. That's the only one we have, but I would rate him just to know what was around. That's the idea that's the most exciting, is to know exactly where the homeless people are. so that you can be like, oh, there's 8 on this corner. I'll drive this way.
I'm going to choose a different route.
Yeah, but Richie actually just brought something to my attention that I wasn't thinking of before that now I think is a huge detriment to this idea. You're incentivizing being homeless.
I hear what you're saying.
You could become a celebrity
but I'm
and
also,
potentially meet Jay-Z and get a home
I'm incentivizing
based off
Jay-Z,
of being a cool
that's what happens.
homeless guy.
If you run the map from poverty to Jay-Z, okay, like most people try to, homelessness is in the middle. That's when homelessness ends. I mean, the real fine dental work starts up here, and then Jay-Z up the top.
Rags to riches, you could say.
Yes. But are we not incentivizing that path?
You know what?
Isn't that what America's about?
I think that what we're relying on is consistency from homeless people, which you cannot do. I think that every one of them is unique and beautiful, and you should give them a chance to end homelessness. And if they want to abuse the system, they're abusing one of them. Give them another one. Double up.
I just feel like all of a sudden we're creating more homeless that we have to deal with on
If
the
we
street.
can-
I'm sorry, Brian.
It's true. Okay.
I love you. I'm out.
Okay. Yeah, that was like
It's over.
That was a
don't
real
want any
like,
part of
Shark
it.
Tank reference
No.
right there.
It's over.
I'm out. It was great.
You're
I still
creating
think-
homeless.
America's creating homeless Joe.
You faster.
No, look, you're profiting off of the homeless.
Don't you want an app where you can
Both
just
of
help
those are
people?
horrible.
They're not horrible. This is America. You profit off of the poor.
You go on Periscope, but you won't save a homeless person.
How dare you? I've never been
Imagine
on
the
Periscope.
ads
That's not true.
Imagine
I
the-
recorded you. I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah, you record. I wasn't on it. Willingly.
You're on
Imagine
it.
the Facebook campaign sharemanship that would happen from one sad homeless person turned frowned upside down.
Go Periscope some homeless.
No Periscope for tonight. Okay, thank you, Brian. That was lovely. We'll all keep you in mind for the end of the show, I guess.
about you down
And your
the road.
homeless game thing app.
What's it
whatever
called?
is.
What's the name?
Adult homeless friend finder.
Yeah, that's
Erotic.
weird. I think definitely that sounds like you want to have sex with
Yeah.
the homeless
How
people.
many
I
stars
think
for a hand job?
homeless buddy is.
How many
is
times
much
have
better.
you used Adult Friend Finder to know
We
that?
can rebrand it, but I want the engagement from people that will help.
few.
And I feel like the deviants are people that need to do a little bit good stuff.
I think they'll still engage with the application.
They'll at least try, and if you get a refer your friend bonus, I would do it.
How many homeless people have smartphones?
Okay, well, we'll see if you make it to our end of the month show. You can think about this more, but for now, we don't need you to rebrand it because you might not even win tonight.
Right.
So we're gonna move on.
can go to your
Moving
room if you
on. Moving on to Richie's pick.
Yes.
This gentleman I just met tonight, but he is a very nice man. I already like him. Yeah, man. I mean, you might feel like a boy, but to
Let's
me, you're a
label
man.
him.
Yeah, Michael Scarston, everybody.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time tonight to
You're welcome.
listen to my pitch. So in this day and age, we live in an era where technology is at the forefront of everything, and it's tough to get out. It's tough to find people, meet people, and to meet the person that you love. And so what we've done is we've taken something that used to go on, in dating, and we've put it online. And we've created a sophisticated algorithm that matches different personality points of, women. And we matched you with my roommate, Tom. Introducing Match.tom. So what, let me break it down for you. The process for this is we have the women fill out a profile online, and whether you're spunky or fun or more studious and introverted, we put it through our algorithm, and then you get matched up with my roommate Tom, because he needs to get off my fucking couch already. And there's a lot of rooms for this, and I'm not going to say it's going to be a perfect match every time, but I will match you with somebody who's there, and that person is Tom, my roommate Tom. There's a lot of rooms for scalability with this. Tom also doesn't have a job. So we could do, kind of a job finding thing where, companies could look, say they're looking for a web developer with coding experience, and we'll match you up with Tom. Or if you're, a construction site, you need, you can get matched up with Tom. Seed funding for this, it comes from Tom's mother because he needs to get married already. And also I've put a significant amount of my money into this project because Tom needs to get off my fucking couch already. He's one of those people who, just sits on the couch with an iPad while TV is on and just doesn't move. And so, yeah, it's great. It's really good stuff. But if, women are looking for something more casual, there's also the Tinder route. Where people get to swipe left and swipe right, and it's always pictures of my nephew Tim because he needs to lose his virginity already. And that's pretty much it for me. I hope that Match.tom is a choice that you guys enjoy. Thank you.
Wow. You described Tom a little bit, and you described Tim a little bit. They both sound awful, so I don't know what the draw to this product would be. But I do want to know a little bit more about, what is Tom like besides sitting on your couch? He sounds awful.
So, yeah, Tom is pretty awful, and that's why we had to start this, application. So Tom works at Starbucks and complains about it constantly, it's a really tough job to have. He's about 50 pounds overweight, and he sleeps on a futon in the living room. He has his own room, but he sleeps on the futon in the living room. And just watches terrible television, too. Every season of NCIS. He got a theater degree, which is pretty lame. Just generally not that great. But hopefully we can get him out of the house and, moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a very selfish idea. This is for you, really, only, because I don't think it's going to even benefit the ladies that you hook up with him.
Well, no, because the ladies could, there could be the fucking diamond in the rough who actually is compatible with Tom. And then also they'll know they hit bottom, and then the next guy, they can settle for him and, not be as, picky,
Okay, well, as a lady, I don't really see what the draw to this is or how you're going to make any money with it. But you know what? That's okay. I'm going to go to Mike Moses Kennedy, our pitch closer now, and maybe he can sell me on it.
Well, very rarely does a name of a business capture the essence of that business. But I think we've done that here. This is amazing. First of all, Tom sounds tremendous. I've already picturing now we could match him up with ladies that maybe are skittish about coming home late at night to an empty house.
Absolutely.
Because Tom is there on the futon right in front of the door for protection. And then when you're asleep, Tom can be your safety net. You can save some money. You don't have to get an alarm system. Tom's already making money for you. Plus, this business is pre-funded, everybody. There's no real risk involved in Match.tom, and that's a plus, I think, as well. Does he? I'm assuming he has some sort of alcohol issues.
Oh, very dense, dark ones.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I could see several scenarios where maybe you drive Tom out to the country or something and tell him there's a farm out there. And then maybe just, if this doesn't work, I'm saying, I want you to have options. He probably can't walk his way back into town is what I'm saying. It sounds like he's a heavier fella. Just drive him out to the desert and then just leave if this doesn't work. If this isn't something that's going to work for you, it's summertime. There's ways to get around this situation if this business doesn't work. But I do like the business.
Awesome. Yeah. I wouldn't, suggest things like that because I'm 98% sure that you are Tom, if not to Michael, to somebody else. So I wouldn't recommend the desert thing. People might get ideas. Okay, let's go to Richie Martin first. This is your pick.
Yeah, I just want to say that Terese, I find your statements incredibly judgmental. You don't know Tom. You don't know Moses, the pitch closer, either. So I got your. You don't know either of their pain. Tom, let's talk about Tom a little bit more. What kind of redeeming qualities does Tom have? From the way that Mike described him, he sounds like he's got the qualities of a good guard dog.
Well, his parents are rich, which is a redeeming quality.
Perfect.
Now we're talking. You should have mentioned that first. That's
well, his parents are they're the seed funding to make this happen. I mean, that's just a bottomless well. There's other ways to monetize this, but yeah. So
does he have any cool stuff?
He has like every season of Scrubs.
I'm so into this Tom right now.
He's
got a
got
huge
every
dick,
season
Richie.
of Scrubs. He's got the first 3 seasons and the last 3 seasons of Sopranos, but he's
Nice.
missing 4.
Why is he missing 4? It's got to be a good story.
He just didn't really like the direction they were going that season,
awesome.
you know.
He's judging David
Yeah.
Chase.
And-
What an idiot. That's great.
he's anti-Buscemi, you know.
So he's an opinionated, lazy guy.
Yeah,
Oh, those are
yeah.
the best kind.
Oh, he's a playwright too. He writes plays too. He when he's not working at Starbucks, he's like writing half of a screenplay at Starbucks. You know,
What Starbucks is he at?
he's at the one where there's no
We can't
inside.
say that? Oh, we can't say that?
Yeah, no.
No, because then Kennedy's going to show up and he's going to be like,
No.
I'll just start messing with Tom all the time at work.
Off air. He can tell you off.
Is he going to listen to this? Is Tom going to hear this?
Oh, Tom probably won't hear this.
Okay.
but what about the person that's like, I'm so into Tom right now, he's a playwright?
Tom doesn't know I'm pitching this business right now.
Oh, he's
Tom
gonna be
thinks
so
I'm like
excited.
out to dinner. You know?
So this algorithm,
The algorithm, right?
you know, with what percentage of accuracy is it matching
100%.
people to Tom? 100% of the
100%.
time, it's an accurate Tom match.
It is.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
That's incredible.
We've got developers from all across the world working on this. People in Bulgaria, you know, folks in India. The top minds are making sure that this happens.
Yo, Bulgarian developers fucking tear that shit up.
And they're cheap. They are cheap as fuck.
That's dope, dude. Dope scalability, bro.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Finally, Richie Martin has found a scalable idea.
Fuck yeah.
He's very excited about it. Richie, I'm going to agree with 50% of what you said to me. I do not know Tom. However, I do know Mike Moses Kennedy. And he might not be super... He's kind of similar to Tom, I feel. One night, after we recorded the podcast at Stand Up Scottsdale, he tagged along with me and my boyfriend,
You
Eric, to
invited me.
downtown. I did. Well, we did.
Oh,
we said we'd
so
go.
now I tagged
We
along.
said you could come. No, you were invited.
I didn't.
Okay, you were invited.
It was an inconvenience.
I'm going to be nice and say.
Oh my goodness.
And then my father said he would give him a ride home because my father drives Uber.
Yeah,
which
we had a
is
nice
awesome.
conversation.
No, he said you fell asleep after 20 minutes,
Oh, I
and then it
probably
took him 40 minutes to wake you up so he could actually find your house.
Oh.
And he ended up dropping you off at a Circle K because you couldn't
Oh, I
figure
figured
out
out.
where you
Oh,
live.
that's totally believable. Yeah, I was pretty lit
Yeah,
that night.
so we need to make an app for him too. Get him a lady to take care of him.
I need a lady or whatever. If you're young enough, I'll do a Bruce Jenner. I don't care. I like soft
Cool.
skin.
Cool. Let's go to Joe next.
Kaylin.
Joe, what are you thinking?
I fucking love it. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Match.com, that's hilarious. Tinder, love it all. You are the dopest roommate. I wish I had you as a roommate at some point in my life. You just have to be a piece of shit and you're going to go find chicks for you? That's great.
Yeah, I make people's lives happen.
Yeah. I just wonder how great of a roommate Tom is.
Tom's a pretty awful roommate, actually. Like, when it comes down to, like, real just roommate shit.
Is it just like the amount of friends he has on MySpace? Like, what attracts you to Tom?
What attracts me to Tom? Well, I was moving in with my buddy, and we needed a third person, and we posted on Facebook, and Tom was like, hey, I'll do that.
I'm
and
a
my
person.
roommate's a lot nicer than I am. And so
I just sold MySpace, so I'm looking to move in with some guys.
And so yeah, it just kind of happened.
Does he do much besides just lay around?
You know, no, not really. Like, it's just lay around, go to Starbucks, complain about like the job you've worked for 3 years. You know,
Dude, you're not my pick. I fucking love your initiative. Go get it, dude. Way to be a bro.
Thank you.
Way to be there
Thank
for
you.
your roommate.
I'm
in.
I kill him with kindness or meanness. You know, he's gonna be better.
You're
after
not killing
this.
anybody. You're being a bro. And I love it.
Yeah, he's like 28, 29.
Oh, it's too young to be doing that.
Yeah.
That's a 45-year-old man does that kind of behavior.
Yeah, and he's just there when we have people over. Like, he doesn't
He's in a lot of
converse.
trouble when he's 45 if he's already doing that at 28.
Okay, Kevin, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay, Joe was right. Your initiative, incredible, man. You have so much motivation to get this asshole out of your place. I love it. You're looking outside of the box to get this dude to move out. Killer. Just like Joe, wish I had you as a roommate. Instead, I got my 6-year-old son, and he has no initiative to get me to move out. It's a pain in the ass. But, dude, Match.tom, good name, but if you look up on the internet, you don't get anything. It's got to be a .com, .org, .something. So Match.tom.com, that could work.
Oh, well, what we would do is Match.tom would simply be the title of the site. We use a different domain, like findyourman.com or something like that.
Match.tom.com.
Yeah, that's what Match.tom.com works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Matchtom.com.
Matchtom.com.
That works too. So, dude, that's killer. Tinder, dope, dude. Love it. Love where they get no option to swipe left. It's only right.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't even leave the site without swiping right. And it's an instant match. That's a cool thing to do. I've had so many shitty roommates in my life, dude. I wish I had your initiative to just get them out of my place. That I can't say no to it. I just need a name change. That's it.
I think we can budge on that. I think we can budge on the name.
As long as it is match.tom.com and not findyourman.com or whatever you just said, because I was kind of on board, like, despite what I was saying until you said that.
Manlove.com.
We'll have a lot of redirects.
Okay. Okay, guys, are you ready to hear your last pitch? You guys, judges? You on board for this? Okay. This is Joe Gangemi's pick for the week. This gentleman is wearing glasses that he put on right before he walked in here so that he would look smarter. He also just started researching his idea about 30 minutes ago. So it should be really, really great. He's a great comedian. He runs a show at Chop and Walk, right, still?
Thank you very much.
Chop and Walk on Thursdays at 9? Is that correct? 9-ish. Okay, Josh Bingenheimer, everybody.
Woo! Thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys.
Bingenheimer.
Yeah. All right, so we're just going to get to it. But before we do, I didn't know that this was supposed to be funny. I thought we were trying to raise money to do some cool shit. So I feel bad because I took it seriously, hence the research. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I put so much time into finding these numbers. Let me double-check them and make sure that they're right. They are. You know, I mean, when you do your homework, it pays off. But yeah, like all the other guys had awesome ideas. Brian's idea for the homeless thing was great until, you know, he had his levels like user and super user. I think that's going to really upset a lot of people. I don't think that we should be classifying homeless people as users and then super users if they're really good at being homeless. So whatever, you know, I'm not trying to tear down everybody's idea, but the last brilliant idea was really great too, except I like Tinder, you know, and I fucking don't trust people named Tom, so that's shit for me and a lot of other people. Again, I'm not trying to, like, poke holes in other people's stuff, because that's not what I would do.
Even though you did twice.
I mean, I was just talking about whatever. Yeah, let me do my pitch. And here's the thing. When I was thinking about it, I was like, what would benefit people? Not just what would benefit the couple people that toss a couple bucks towards the Kickstarter, because this is something that's going to benefit the entire community. I'm talking about a public treehouse. One that's going to be financed by the community, built by the community, and loved by the community. A treehouse is really important for a community because a treehouse when you're a kid is a place that you dream of. It's a place where you feel like if you could just get there, you could get away from your problems, you know? Or if you could just get there, you could finally have that awesome fight where you throw water balloons at pirates. That's all shit that you think about when you're a kid. But treehouses are one of the oldest domiciles in human history. Treehouses have been used by everybody. They were used by monks for praying. They were used by the British monarchy for showing the fuck off. There's a lot of other things in between there and on either side of it, but I don't want to get too crazy about numbers and eras because what I'm really talking about is a movement, a chance for you to give something that's going to give it right back. So I like drinking, but sometimes my roommates are like, Josh, you're being really fucking loud. Get out of this house. And normally they're not my roommates, and I'm really grateful that they didn't shoot me. Either way, I need a place to go. You know, it's cold, or it's hot, or it's raining, or I got to pee somewhere and I don't want people to maybe look, Either way, I have a shelter that's elevated where I can collect myself. Now, I'm not saying, hey, let's build outhouses and trees for homeless people, because that's Brian's idea, pretty much. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that this is a thing where we could have, Bob the custodian teach a bunch of kids about woodworking while a school builds this with the money that we brought together to pay for supplies. And there's actually a whole industry built around tree houses. If you guys don't know, there's a show called Treehouse Master, and it's amazing. And this guy gets paid a shit ton of money to travel the world building tree houses because people fucking love them. And he doesn't just build them. Sometimes he repairs like an 80-year-old tree house that is like the cornerstone of a community. Here's the other great thing about this treehouse. It's not a one-and-done idea. It's something that continues to build on itself, because a treehouse is a living thing. You shut your mouth while I'm making the world better.
I was excited.
The treehouse is a living thing. So with a treehouse, it turns out like you want this huge, badass 5-story treehouse, but you don't actually get to build a 5-story treehouse right away, because if you put that much weight on the tree is going to collapse. So when you see those like 8-story tree houses, those have been built over generations. You have to wait years to add more than 2 or 3 stories to it. So this is a thing that will continue to foster, a community feeling. Because no one's going to want to let it die at just 2, when it can be 3 or 4 or 5 stories. This right here is the beginning of this story. That's what we have. I'm glad this is carpeted, because I'm going to drop the mic, guys. I'm going to.
Wow. I love this idea, because I definitely want to live in a treehouse. My only question for you, after hearing that, is how are you going to keep people that you don't want in the treehouse out of it? Are there going to be different ones, like ones for kids that, how are you? Because if there's just one in Phoenix, there's going to definitely be homeless people living in it. My question is, how are you going to combat that?
I wouldn't combat it. The community would. It's the same thing as, that argument is like saying, why do we have slides anywhere? Everybody knows that homeless people are just going to pee down them and laugh when they're drunk. Well, it turns out not every slide has urine on it, because sometimes the slide's in a brightly lit area where people care about it. And they're like, no, I'm going to push my kid down that slide tomorrow, and there better not be piss on his butt. So it would be the same thing. There's going to be no people with pee bottoms coming out of the treehouse, because it's in a well-lit area if it has to be. If that's a real concern. But, I don't want to get into what homeless people might do. It's not like every park is built for fucking, but fucking happens. But the thing is that we don't let one lewd act ruin that park. You still take your kids there the next day. You're like, just don't poke it with that stick. Hey, let's bury that. That's all. But you wouldn't bury it. You would just kick it off the platform.
Yeah, with Teresa's logic, we shouldn't have any national parks.
No, I just wanted to see what he would say. I liked his argument, because my first thought when he said this was, I want to live in a treehouse, so even though I have my own home, I would move into the treehouse if that were at all possible. Also, I want to have sex in a treehouse. So you addressed, the 2 biggest concerns that I had. Because I think everybody wants that.
You're going to risk something. Absolutely, yeah, you can fucking it. You're risking something, because you could still definitely go to jail for fucking in that treehouse. But what if you don't get caught? What if you just have the greatest night ever? Yeah.
No, I'll definitely take that chance. Thank you. Thank you for addressing my concerns. We're going to go to Mike Moses Kennedy now.
Well, I like this idea because it's able to do some vertical integration, first of all. Vertical integration's based in this one, based on the fact that you addressed a concern of vandalism. You put Tom to work managing the security there at the treehouse. He keeps the homeless away.
I don't want Tom living in it, though.
By tracking them. He tracks the homeless. Tom's out there hunting homeless people for us. And we go to the treehouse. Everyone's a winner at the end of the show. No, I like the treehouse idea. I'm a big fan of treehouses as well. Also, they have those tents now that have you seen the tents?
Yeah, I have. They're pretty
the
sweet.
3D tents you can hang them between so bears can't eat you.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. I'm worried about bears. You might want to
hang your food
bears.
when you can hang your dude, Oh, that sounds weird. Maybe. Yeah. See, I don't pitch everything, Or, I don't know, or something, maybe something gayer. I don't know.
I also I
Something
like
gayer
the,
than murder.
That's definitely a Brian Valena quote.
I also like the idea of kids being forced to actually do something. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we'll get them involved.
Yeah, I like the kids working on something because they will need to build alternative homes in the future after September.
Okay, let's go to Joe Gangemi. This is your pick for this week. You're probably going to love it. We already know, so go ahead.
Yes, and I agree 100% that we're not out here pitching tree houses in general. Yes, we would all love a tree house for ourselves, but we're out here pitching a tree house for the community. Something we can all be behind. Not just a tree house for you, Terese. I'm sorry.
I'm saying everyone's going to think the same as me. They're all going to want it for themselves. That's the whole issue that I had, but it's okay.
And that's why I love the generational aspect of this. Because after 8 years of this treehouse being involved in the community, there'll be 3 levels that can house different generations of people. People that knew it at its infancy, and then people that got to add on to it later.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
And, like, the upper levels won't have, like, Teresa's sex sweat all over it. So it's like you could almost start over.
Yeah, I was going to say, there won't be an inch of that treehouse that doesn't see that.
Yeah.
But it's like the Giving Tree. I love it. It's like the Giving Tree. I still love it.
Therese the tree troll.
Whatever. If that's what I have to become to live in a treehouse, I will do it.
I'm trying to read my notes. I don't know why it says fuck pirates.
Is that saying like verb fuck pirates, or is it?
Well, I was talking about throwing water balloons at pirates.
Yes,
And
imaginary pirates,
Yeah.
and fuck
See,
them.
That's how beautiful this is. You got so wrapped up in the image of recapturing your youth that you forgot about, hey, it's a water fight. It's like, no, fuck them, die,
That's
pirates.
all I thought of,
Wait a second, where'd the Viking come from? Like, all of a sudden, your mind just
Or for our
went to a really
podcast
cool place.
listeners, it's an old note for Mike's T-shirt. But either way, it says pirates. All right.
Oh, there is a Pirates fan
Subliminal
in
cue
here.
in the house.
So that's awkward. That's awkward.
I love this because it gets to our most basic instinct. As primates, originally, we want to live in trees because it brings us back to our literal roots. And so I think this is fantastic. So, Treehouse Revolution, let's do this.
We're starting here. Thank you.
It's the beginning of this story. Best ending line ever. I'm going to go to Richie Martin next because he is falling over in his chair and staring at the ceiling and looking all kinds of weird right now.
Thank you. Great introduction. Really making the businessman look good. Josh, I like the idea that this could be a sort of fun child playhouse during the day, and then if homeless people want to turn it into a fuck shack at night, that's their prerogative.
I'd rather have like rich high school kids do it and stuff. It's not just for like the poor; it's for everybody.
How about an American fuck shack?
Yeah,
all American fuck shack. Homeless people, paupers, princes.
Well, like I don't want this to be the back of a Volkswagen. I don't want the whole world fucking in it. I was accepting that that's something that might happen.
Because I remember you dumping on Terese earlier for wanting it to be her treehouse, and now it's like, oh, I've got
no,
this
I was
specific
not
vision
dumping
of who's allowed in my treehouse, who's allowed to fuck in my treehouse.
I said she was welcome
Is
to fuck
everyone
in
allowed
it.
to fuck in your treehouse, or is
Here's the
only
thing.
some people?
Actually,
allowed to fuck in
nobody
your
is
treehouse?
allowed to fuck in my treehouse. But you can.
That's fine.
No, but you can. That's the thing. It's a public area.
So you could.
No,
Just
yeah.
like you can fuck on any
You
slide
can fuck
or
in the
any
middle
park
of like an
bench,
elementary school gym floor if
but
you
you
want
could go to jail.
But exactly. That's all I'm saying.
Risk.
You can't, but you can. How bad do you want it?
Are girls allowed? Is this like a boys only thing?
Oh, it's not like a He-Man Woman
'Cause
Haters Club.
all the tree forts I remember were boys only.
No, this is like a community treehouse, though. This isn't like what is it? Not the Rugrats. What is it? Our Gang. It's not like an Our Gang shack. It's not like an Our Gang gay bang shack. It's a community housing unit. Look, I mean, I don't know why we're getting so about the hand jobs and who's going to be in who.
Look, no one
This is actually, I mean,
you brought up hand jobs.
okay.
right?
For example,
I just
Kevin
wanna
Elliott's
talk
going to take his
tree
kid there.
architecture.
He doesn't want to know about all the hand jobs going on. Let's not focus on hand jobs. We're trying to build a fucking community center right now.
Well, first of all, I don't think Kevin appreciates you assuming he doesn't want to know about hand jobs. I think Kevin should answer that question himself.
I'm gonna wait till it's my turn.
That's fine.
To tell you how my son feels about hand jobs.
I will ask him. We'll fax him in right now.
I like it.
Quick, someone Skype Kevin's son.
Okay, Kevin. You usually love every idea, but now they're talking about hand jobs and your child who's 6. So how are you feeling about this?
Okay, for me personally,
You love it.
I do love it. I absolutely love it because my son and I go to the park all the time across the street from our house. It's a big park. They have a play area, but then the baseball fields and the whole 9, big grass area. But what's cool is they've got a ton of trees, and for the kids themselves, if they had a tree house to play in, like there's one at the zoo, at the Phoenix Zoo, and they have a tree house there, and the kids love it. Right before they leave, they go get to run around and play in the tree house, and it's a lot of fun. So, dude, legitimately, as a real idea, no funny jokes or anything about it, if this stuff was built at parks, it's great. I
came
love
up
it.
with this idea when I
love
thought we were all being serious.
Dude, I love
think
it.
it's a beautiful
All
idea.
these trees and no
The-
fuck shack.
The hand job fuck shack thing,
That
that's
just
where
came
it
out
gets,
of the weirdness. That's not my thing.
I know, I got it. But that's where you think
I'm not out
beyond
here
that.
pitching hand jobs.
That's what,
If it happens, it happens. I don't know.
That's all I was saying.
but that's where you go beyond the thought. So there's got to be some sort of restriction after hours, something. I mean, when the sun goes down, somebody at the park comes and locks it up. I don't know. Some way. Tom, if you can get Tom involved, or maybe just one of the homeless guys, that's one of the achievements.
Yeah, we could
the
just
three
lock
guys
Tom
can
in
work
there.
together. But dude, I think the idea itself, one, it's super pricey. The show that you talked about in your pitch with the guy that builds the tree houses, those are elaborate tree houses that are very expensive. So when you're looking to fund the project, my question to you in the future is, if you're the one to get picked, is how much funding would you be looking for? So it's something to think about. Because otherwise, if you don't get that funding, man, it's just tough. It's going to be a tough thing to do. City ordinances, the whole 9, but that's just me being a legitimate businessman, not like Richard being a fake one.
Well, can the treehouse have secret rooms though?
Kevin, you hit on something
Okay.
pretty good. Well, we can't have secret hand job houses in the fucking treehouse. I know that's where you're going. I want to get, I want.
Yes, we can.
I want a hand job behind a fake bookcase.
Okay, your enthusiasm for hand jobs is like incredible, and I agree with. But at the same
There's
time, it's
better
terrifying.
things than hand jobs.
Yeah, there are. There's foot jobs.
Name one.
Grow up. Take off your socks and give me one. That's what I'm talking about. That's where it's at. But where my mind's at right now isn't about foot fucking somebody. It's about creating a foothold for a community to grow and work with each other.
Well, it can be about both those things if it's a fuck shack and a playhouse.
I'm going to go straight to the money issue. Not how much it's going to cost for me to take my shoes off, but how much is it going to cost to build a platform for this? And honestly, so we talked about Treehouse Masters, and yeah, that's where people put, what do they have? They have running toilets, and they have like
Mini fridge?
jacuzzis and fridges and sinks. I'm not talking about teaching kids to be fancy and pompous. I'm just talking about a place for people to hang out in the trees and appreciate nature and just that sort of life experience that comes with that. And that's actually really cheap. Those materials aren't very expensive. In fact, like
The insurance is.
you know what though? I live by where the Cub Spring training thing is, and there's this giant fucking spider web of death that goes up like 50 feet, and all you see are the happiest people in the world going 50 feet up this fucking death trap. Nobody has said shit. The only thing that people say is, hey, that's really badass. I wish I had that as a kid. We're just giving them another, hey, that's badass. I wish I had that as a kid moment.
As a fake businessman, that anecdote is more than enough for me.
Yeah, that's the most fucked up park I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It's not even that.
I saw that and I
Everything
was
they
like,
have
that's
at that park
crazy.
is
But I want to
fucked up,
climb
yeah.
that thing. It's
No,
just
I
that
have.
there's...
It's great.
It's also the
Have you?
Cubs
Yeah, it's
facility.
awesome.
A lot of insurance
badass.
payment. Either way, I do love the idea, man. And if it works out, cool. If you get picked to move on, I want to hear more. Like, I want beyond what this whole thing like that you gave is. I want way beyond that. The architecture, what it looks like, where it can go, things like that, man. So just something to think about if you move on.
It's going to go in a tree house and look like a tree house.
He's already talking about you.
With
moving
this
on.
talking about.
because I really want-
Oh, perfect. Oh,
Right.
I don't need to argue anymore.
It's like giving you his vote.
Thank you, Josh. I really do love that idea. But I want the treehouse with like the jacuzzi and stuff in it. Just for cool. Cool. Okay, we're going to give the judges some time to deliberate, and I'm going to talk to you guys. Brian, after hearing everyone's ideas, are you still super on board for yours, or would you change your vote from yours to somebody else's?
I think that part of what my pitch was being selfless. So I would give both of these were both very good. His was longer, yours was hilarious. They're both very good. It's a coin flip. I'm not going to say who. I'm going to let the judges decide that.
Wait, so you're not voting for yourself, though? Because my question was, you can still vote for yourself, and then you just only talked about them.
If I vote for myself, it doesn't change the outcome. But I think they both performed stronger than I did. So it'd be...
Oh, wow. That is the first time we've heard that here.
What a noble man.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
If I perform better than them, you'd hear a different story, trust me. But I didn't today. So.
Kudos, Brian Valona. Kudos. Michael, how are you feeling after hearing everyone's pitches?
I went into this feeling pretty confident, but it's some tough competition out there on the battlefield.
And it is a battlefield.
It is if only people could see. But I feel confident. I think I'll do well. But you never know what happens in the judges' minds. We've all seen this happen before.
Well, you guys are competing for a Kickstarter, which you could make yourselves, but we will make for you if you win. So it's a pretty great prize, really. Josh, I think you're pretty into your own idea, but if you had to pick another one besides yours, which would you pick?
Look, Brian, you're awesome, but Mike, your shit was pretty good. Yeah, because everybody's lived with somebody that they hate. And the fact that it's not like a, hey, give me money to find a burial spot for my half-dad friend. It was like, hey, help me help him along the way. So in a way, even though it sounded selfish, it was really selfless. He had less of himself and more of Tom in his heart there. It's beautiful.
Okay, I think our judges have reached a decision, and I'm going to give it to Joe to announce it.
This was the hardest decision we've had to make yet.
By far.
They were all really great, actually.
No, we actually, we really didn't care. We were like, we could go any of the three ways and not feel bad about it at all because they were all very good. But because all of us had kind of been through a bad roommate situation at some point.
Yep.
And because
some of us are living it.
We just
Richie and Brian live together, just for those of you who don't know.
Scalable.
We're going to do our best.
Richie and Brian live together.
We're going to do our best to help the real homed and get Tom out of your home.
Yeah.
Michael, you're our winner.
They were all
No, they were all so
All
great.
three,
Really.
we didn't care. We were like literally just tossed it in the hat, I guess.
We were delivering like legitimately all three should move on.
So you won, but basically it was like maybe you couldn't.
Well, we kind of went with a stipulation too that Joe didn't say was look, matchtom.com or whatever you call it is great. We also want Tinder incled when you do your final pitch.
Okay, so it's like two business ideas in one, and I
bundle.
totally understand that. I love that. I love that. How are you feeling?
I am elated. I am on top of the world.
We're going to get Tim out of that fucking house for you.
Well,
Tim doesn't live there.
Tom needs to get
Tom.
the fuck out of the house, but Tim's a good guy.
Tim just needs to get fucked.
Tim just needs to get laid.
And we're going to get Tim fucked as well.
Oh, that is so great to hear. And Tim, you heard that, right? If you're listening. Okay.
I heard it.
Did you hear that?
Okay, guys, so when you come back at the end of the month, just further develop your idea. Maybe give us some numbers. You know, how much money his parents are donating to it so we can know, what the profit's going to be. Awesome. Congratulations.
And measurements of junk size for the profile.
That's not necessary.
For the profile. It's for the profile.
Yeah, group hug.
Group hug.
So congratulations to the three contestants because they crushed.
Yes, you guys were all awesome.
They did awesome.
Thank you guys for
Good
listening.
luck to the other contestants because Brian and Josh's ideas should have moved on in any other week.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
insane.
absolutely. So you guys
100%.
all better bring it.
This week, yo.
Brian Valona, everybody. Thank you guys all for joining us.
That dude hates the homeless.
Make sure you tune in next week so you can find out who our Week 2 winners will be that will join Michael in the finals this month.
I win.
And we'll see you guys all next week. Have a good
Hedge, please.
This has been another great presentation of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. You can catch more shows at foureyedradio.com.